Okay guys, this one's gonna be quick. This is a letter that I sent out, like 2 months ago, to Judge Gelpi, Gustavo Gelpi. This is his response. Again, 29 pages of sexual harassment towards my person by many women, the rainbow community, discriminating against Christianity, God, the Bible, with first name and last name on every person. And the judge, in essence, just doesn't care. That's his brief response. I put my phone here because my address is there. I don't want that to come out. My home address. But it's real. Look. It's real. It has their everything, their logo, if you want to call it that. So again, guys, if anybody here that's aware of that place is watching this, this is your answer basically. It's out of his jurisdiction, and that's a form of saying he doesn't really care. Because I would care if I were a federal judge and I had people sexually harassing men, inviting men to go to hotel rooms, sending naughty pictures. Like I'll show you guys one. You guys I think seen it before. I'll show you one soon. It's in here. Because I sent him pictures. I sent him pictures of 3 females sending me things on their work phone, but nobody cares when women do it. They only care when men do it. Judge Gelpi doesn't care. Like no other judge cared. Like HR doesn't really care. So again, this is the beautiful world we live in. This is the at least men. This is what men have to deal with, have to put up with. Ideologies that discriminate against men. That's misandrist against men. Because if a man sent a picture with his body parts showing, that guy will most likely end up in jail. He will not just get fired. He will end up in jail. Yes, he will. But this is the misandrist world we live in. This is U.S. District Court of Puerto Rico, people. This is U.S. District Court of Puerto Rico. Let me show you the picture. But I need to be careful because the name is under the female, and I don't want that to come out. I'm trying to protect these promiscuous women, even though they don't deserve it. Honestly. Okay, let me do this. You guys have seen this before. You guys have seen this before, but let me show you again. You see this female here? I don't know if it's clear enough because I'm outside. Do you see this female? Does anybody recognize her body? Again, these are things that you find on their devices. But it's okay for women to do that, apparently. It's okay. Gelpi's okay with it. HR was okay with it. When I mentioned it to Mrs. Vega. When I mentioned it to let me hide my name a bit. Already saw it, but it doesn't matter. But again, that's reality for you. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. A woman can be as promiscuous as she wants. She can sleep with a bunch of guys there, which again, this is toxic behavior. What messages are females sending out in at U.S. District Court of Puerto Rico and probation? So once again, I'm not making this up. I'm really not. The judges don't care. HR never cared. They dismissed it for years. They continue to dismiss it. Then they wonder why. And again, this is not me, people. Understand this clearly, because I know there's going to be a bunch of idiots, thinking that I'm a threat. But guess what? This is the reason why I believe a lot of men, especially white men, I don't want to discriminate against it, but it's the truth. They go postal and they do something crazy. They do something stupid. But it's because of this. Because of this. And there was one guy that I mentioned before here that almost did that. He almost did that. That's how bad he got. And he has weapons because he was a probation officer. I don't have weapons and I don't care to. And I don't care to hurt anybody. But I do care for justice. At this point, and people don't misunderstand me. I don't want to go back to work there. I don't want to work at any federal agency. I remember Michael Henry, which I contacted him, phone call. He works for the U.S. District Court nationally. He represents HR to a certain level, I guess. He told me I need to be careful that I might be blacklisted. Which to me, in America, really? Really? In America, you're sexually harassed. You have the rainbow community criticizing God, the Bible, and religion. But I might be the one getting blacklisted for verbalizing this? That's not right. That's not right. That's not justice. That is just pure evil. But again, I'm not sure what he actually meant by that. If he meant that I might not be able to get hired by another federal agency, I don't want to work for the federal government anymore. Not with all the garbage, wokeness, and all the feminism, and all the rainbow garbage that they keep indoctrinating down the pipeline. Groups should not be protected. Either everybody's protected or nobody is. Because when you protect just one group, you're automatically discriminating the group that is not being protected. That's discrimination. But in anal world, where women are the ones, behind the HR decisions, because it's primarily women, judges, they don't care. They're just career people. They don't care. They live just above the clouds. They don't care. They think they're gods. So they are going to side with HR, which again are always women, and every other feminized man. The point is, again, they don't care. Judge Gelpi doesn't care. So if something in the future ever happens, well, guess what? This person didn't care to fix that, to correct that. Just like the current judges, just like current HR of 2023 till probably now. I don't know if they moved on or if they retired or if whatever. But all these events happened in essence, from 2011 to 2023. Women inviting me to hotels, crying. Women, having condoms on their desk and offering to, hey, we can use this together, in a joking way. It's all in here. Gay people, again, making fun of God and the Bible. Gay people, again, making fun of the Catholic Church. It's all in here, with first name and last name. And Judge Gelpi doesn't care. At least you should have said, try this other agency or try this other entity, if you actually do care. But like everybody else, it's kicked to the side. That's the federal government for you today. So don't expect the Epstein files to actually come out. Don't expect a lot of injustices, to actually be corrected or analyzed or studied or brought to justice. Not just me, many, many, many others. You saw the picture. There was 2 other pictures next to it, but I don't want, I don't want to show those because it's actually showing their faces. And again, my intention is not for people like that to get fired. My intention is for the correction to be made. They need to correct that behavior from women and the rainbow community. They need to stop it, period. And stop blaming men for everything. When women constantly provoke. Like I told Vega when she asked me the question. Anybody could have provoked Mr. Blah, blah. And I said, yeah, women have shown me pornography. Women have shown me pictures. Women don't dress properly. Women have all, on their devices, things that also provoke. And then they want the IT guys to back them up, restore them, etc. Again, the behavior is horrendous. But they don't care. They don't care until something happens. And again, it's not going to come from me. But I have a feeling eventually some white dude in America, because, I'm not discriminating against white people, but, but we all know that's true. I mean, I've never seen a black guy go postal or even Hispanic. I like to speak raw and I like to speak real. I'm not gonna kiss up to any of these stupid ideologies that in the end contribute to the hatred and contribute to the inequality, etc. Inclusivity for some means exclusivity for others. In this case, men. And especially white men, to be honest. You know, I hate it when I keep hearing that white men this, white men that. When it comes to, you know, historical abuses, which, you know, you can say, yes, it was true, but it was not all white men. And it's not white men today either. But we can't go back 100 years, 200 years, and off of that, create a victimhood mentality at the workplace, a victimhood anything. And when you really analyze things and study things, you will realize a lot of it is propaganda and lies or exaggerations. Yeah, the rooster wants to say something. But once again, people, that's the response from Gelpi, Judge Gelpi, federal Judge Gelpi. Doesn't really care. Just like, again, all the others I've sent information to. And this is not going to stop. While it's still burning in my heart, years will go by, and I'll continue to create these small clips of videos. Eventually, maybe, you know, if I retire, I'm going to create cartoons mimicking everything that happened to me there. And I hope they go very viral. Because again, no man should have to deal with these kind of places. Seriously, no man should have to deal with that. No man. Especially being ignored when women invite him to hotels, when women send him nasty pictures, when women, again, send nasty comments or just do things, you know, touch you inappropriately or you know, massage you inappropriately and then become horny and then, you know, run off in their horniness. You know, these are women, by the way. Because I know most people are going to think, well, men are the same. Not so much anymore. I think women have gone mad. Men, I'm not saying men don't do bad things, but men nowadays are very cautious because of, again, they'll lose their job quickly. And women, well, they've gone to the other extreme. Since they know they have Me Too to protect them, since they know they have idiots in HR to protect them, women could do anything and not get fired. Again, not get fired at all. Again, 29 pages long. A lot of detail. And Judge Gelpi doesn't really care, just like everybody else. So whenever you hear somebody in the United States going postal on any federal agency, this is the reason why. Because they don't care. This is the reason why. They don't care. And it's sad. You know, after this experience, I felt disgusted that I actually worked for such an agency. That's why I don't care to be blacklisted, because I don't want to go back. I really don't. I prefer to work for myself, work privately, and move on. But once again, people, at U.S. District Court of Puerto Rico, a woman could sexually harass a man, and that's okay with HR, and that's okay with the judges, as long as you're not a man. That's what really matters there. And guess what? Gay people, they can talk bad about God and the Bible, and openly, by the way. But that's okay, as long as you're not a straight man making fun of them, making fun of the rainbow community, or making any comment on the rainbow community, or making any comment on women. That's justice for you. Isn't that amazing? That's justice for you. You discriminate men while you protect the horrendous behavior of the other groups. Well, I wanted this to be shorter than 13 minutes, but this is it. There's a lot more. You know, I wanted to actually read page per page. Maybe in the future, I'll read page per page, just omitting the names. And again, that's the beauty of U.S. District Court of Puerto Rico and probation. That's the beauty of it. That's the future. The future is female, and the future is falling apart. So, till next time.